Randy's a top ranked pension lawyer and partner at McCarthy Tetro, and he's here to set the record straight with respect to employer sponsored pension plans. Randy, thanks for coming on Strictly Money.
Well, thank you for having me.
So let's kick things off with the difference between defined benefit and defined contribution plans. Which one gives the bigger bang for the buck?
Well, defined benefit plans give a lot bigger bang for the buck. Pretty much for every dollar you put into one of these plans, you're going to get twice as much out of a DB plan than you get out of a defined contribution plan. By DB plan, I mean defined benefit. And a defined benefit plan, just for the record, is one in which the benefit you get in retirement is defined. So I'm going to get a pension of $100 a month. Whatever it costs, the employer has to pick that up. In a defined contribution plan, I have a defined amount that I put into a plan, like an RS. It works like an RSP. I put the defined amount in, and then my pension is whatever that happens to grow to when I'm ready to retire.
So here's what's interesting, because we saw this huge shift between from defined benefit plans to defined contribution plans. And the thinking was that defined contribution plans were more cost effective, but you're saying that's not the case.
No, that's definitely not the case. Defined benefit plans are a much more cost efficient way of providing a bigger, better pension at retirement than defined contribution. The reason for the shift is in a single employer pension plan environment where there's only one employer in the plan, the defined benefit plan poses sometimes fatal financial risks for the employer because it's the one that has to make sure there's enough money to pay those defined benefits. In a defined contribution plan, the employer just puts so much in every month or every week, and boom, it's done. That's all it has to do.
So, Randy, can we go through some of the reasons for it? I've read about longevity risk pooling. Mm-hmm. My understanding is this is where, in this case, defined benefit plans only have to fund to an average life expectancy. That's not necessarily the case with defined contribution plans. Can you explain that?
Yep. So longevity risk is really, I know at age 65, my likelihood is I will live to age 82. That's what, on average, what I would live to. So I need to have enough money to get me to age 82 if I was averaging myself with everybody else. But in my own particular circumstances, I feel I'm a 65-year-old, I'm in great health. Maybe I'll live to 90 or 100. So I really need to be cautious if I'm saving for my own retirement, not getting it from a defined benefit plan. I got to put enough away so I will have money coming in until I think I'm going to die. Mm-hmm. Whereas when the employer is funding the DB plan, it just takes a look at the average and says, well, as long as I'm funding on average for everybody at age 82, every male at 82, I've got enough money in the plan. And so that makes it much more efficient because you're basically just averaging all those ages out.
And one of the things about, I guess, the benefit of defined benefit plan, at least from what I've seen, is when it's professionally managed and you have a pool of money, you also can leverage the economies of scale, can you not?
Oh, yeah. And that's where, like when I mentioned this, you're going to get twice as much money out of a defined benefit plan as a defined contribution plan. Almost half of that comes out of lower investment management fees and a higher level of investment management skill. In a defined contribution plan, typically employees are given a choice. So it's a do-it-yourself retirement arrangement. Whereas in a defined benefit plan, you've got expert professionals who are managing the money, one big pool of money that's going to apply to everybody over a long period of time. And so they get better fees. And even if they just get 1% lower than what you're getting from your fund, over 20 years, that could make a 25, 30% difference in the amount of total money saved. Right. It's that big a deal. That 1% matters that much over the long term.